So the three of us are going to talk about social media. We've all applied it professionally to our businesses and help others do it. So we're going to share our experiences today. The objective really is to share three key tools. Obviously, this is not an extensive discussion. There's lots of social media tools. These are the most popular: Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Facebook is just a community, online community where you can connect with fans and followers. There's over 2.4 billion people using it. So needless to say, you can reach a lot of people. The great thing about it is that it's free. I would have to safely say that 99% of your customers are probably using some form of, technology to communicate, stay connected, whether it's text, phone calls, emails, and most likely in between sitting around waiting for things, they're browsing social media. Some of the things you can do on Facebook are text posts, photo posts, video posts, live video posts like we're doing today with this meeting, events, polls. You can do stories, which are short-term sharing. You can actually create a Facebook account free. You can use this platform to connect and communicate to fans and followers by just posting, without real limitations. I mean, as much as you want to post, you can post. Now, there's strategies to it, which we can talk about on Wednesday. But the great thing about it is that it's free. You, of course, can pay to advertise via boosts, advertisements. You can do lots of extreme targeting. So that can get as complicated as you want to get, but you can target zip codes, gender, behaviors, interests, you name it. There's different ways they charge for advertising is by impression, which is just if you want to reach number of people, or clicks and conversions, which is what I love about it. It's there's lots of ROI. So if somebody clicked on it, they're looking at something that you have to offer, and usually that's worth paying for. Here's just some example of ads. You can do just all types. Alex, looks like you were wanting to friend me, so I got to confirm that. But it shows up in all places. So I was looking for a jacket the other day, and all of a sudden all these jacket ads start popping up. So there's intelligent targeting, retargeting, things like that can happen. Instagram is another platform that is all visual. So Facebook allows you to use text and visuals. Instagram is pretty much just sharing lots of pictures. It's very popular among the younger audiences, 18 to 29. Not that they're the only ones, but it's just real easy to flash through lots of pictures, very fast to communicate through. There you can do photo posts, video posts, stories. Again, stories are things that show up for just 24 hours and then disappear. So a lot of kids like having a history tracing them. It's free. It's free also to establish a account for yourself or your business and your business. So it depends on how many channels you want to manage. Again, there's all different ways you can post, but there's also ways to advertise. Advertising, again, similar to Facebook. You can target by impressions, which is number of views. So if you want to say, I want to reach 2,000 people today, you can do that. If you want to focus on conversions and clicks, things like that, you can do that as well. You can do story ads, video ads, photo ads, carousel, collection ads, things like that. So here's an example of how, visual engagement can really attract your audience. When I think about Joanne and Patrick, I mean, you can do videos burning on how you can care, for elders, or you can tease people with vacation destinations, things like that. So just lots of visual value there. LinkedIn is another platform. Everyone here who's selling insurance and financial services, LinkedIn is the place to be. That's really much more of a career and business professional network. And if you have any kind of offerings to the business community, want to network with the business community, there's 660 million users across 200 countries. Again, it's a great place to look for hiring people, recruiting people, selling. services, just plain networking. Um, you can post all types of things. You can do daily posts, hourly posts, whatever you want to do. You can post articles. Really, it's about being an influencer. That's what I would suggest for LinkedIn, a business influencer. So, posting articles, sharing information, photos, videos. You can host events, create subgroups of followers. And again, same thing with the other platforms. They're free to create a personal or business account. And you can do all types of posts. Now, of course, you can also advertise. That's how they all make their money. Same ways you can get charged and set up your account to be billed in different formats, whether it's just reaching people, but you can do text ads, photo, video, linked ads, link to your website, link to a registration page, and so forth. Sponsored email, so you can actually send a email blast to folks, and then lead generation forms. Again, great ways to get contact information. Here's some examples. Fisher Investments, they're like the 800-pound gorilla in the financial services world, but 7 ways to generate income in retirement. You can offer free guides and books and things like that. So here, this is a call to action where you download. And of course, to get the download, you have to share some contact information. Here's another one, revolutionizing how we connect. This is a registration ad to get folks to an event. So that's kind of the real broad scope of kind of the 3 platforms. And if Jonathan and Christine, you want to share anything about those, feel free to jump in.
I was just gonna share something really quick to kind of drum up some suspense for our deep dive session, because I've been putting a lot of thought into how I can help you guys and show you what I'm personally doing, practicing what I preach, so to say. But without social media, 10 years ago, you'd have been like, social what? It wasn't even really a thing for businesses. And fast forward to today, it's almost vital for businesses. It's become such an integral part of my marketing campaigns for the restaurant. Instagram with food pictures, Facebook tied together with events and posts about specials. I wouldn't have had any way to communicate in a better form and fashion than through social media during the pandemic when it hit. We immediately lost all of our dine-in guests. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to really showcase to you, it'll be in perspective of my business from the restaurant, but it could be applied to any model, any business in a similar fashion. And so I look forward to sharing kind of a deep dive demo with you guys of what I'm actively doing and what's really been a benefit to growing our business, even during the pandemic when a lot of other restaurants haven't been as successful.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Thank you, Jonathan. That's going to be amazing. And we can actually see how it's being used. And a lot of my clients will do that. I see Lloyd's got his hand up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this forum today is the right place or if it's next week on the deep dive, but I've heard about something called on Facebook called 5x5x5. I wish someone would help me understand that a little bit better. So I don't know.
So Jonathan's nodding his head on that one. So Jonathan, are you going to hit that next week, or?
I don't have that in my slide deck, but you know what? I'm sure I could work it in some form or fashion. So I will definitely, I'll take you up on that.
Thank you.
I see Patrick's got his hand up, then Jeff.
I don't know if we want to go down this road, maybe let somebody else work out the bugs first, but marketing on all the new up and coming platforms, have you started looking into that at all?
So I would say, as far as, I guess the deep dive, because social media is so vast, and it's becoming, it grows every single day, right? Every single day there's something new. There's some new feature Facebook's coming out with to help businesses grow, because that's their bread and butter. That's how they are Facebook and how they are Instagram and LinkedIn. And Facebook and Instagram are essentially the same now. Facebook acquired Instagram. But anyway, long story short, we focus on these in the deep dive just due to a time restraint. But I would love to talk to you about, different technologies and things coming up. If you want to schedule, some sessions maybe after the deep dive, and I'd be more than happy to go into any of those with you and see and talk to you about strategies and how you could utilize them for your business.
Yeah, and I'll just say that, one of the key principles when you think about marketing is really don't go too broad, right? It gets very overwhelming because there's new tools every day. Like Jeff is venturing into TikTok. That's awesome. But again, when you look at your audience in TikTok, it's very different from your audience in Facebook, very different from Instagram. For example, what I do, franchise consulting, I primarily focus on LinkedIn. I'm helping people professionally with career advice and information. And that's where people are looking for stuff like that, right? I'm really not using Facebook or Instagram for that. I own an indoor cycling studio. My primary platform is Facebook and Instagram. That's where people want to see some cool stuff with cycling and fitness, and I'm in my company. And I can also target by audience, very female, things like that. Although Dan rides with me. So it's actually one of the few exercises that are gender neutral because everyone can cycle, everyone likes to cycle, and everyone needs to get heart healthy. Anyway, so without that, I just don't, I personally, I enjoy marketing. I enjoy running my business. I just don't have time to keep up with 6 platforms. It's just a lot of work. So I would say pick one that's your primary, and then dabble with, maybe one other, just to experiment. I don't know if Jonathan, you feel the same way.
Yeah, I'd like to add on to Irving's comments actually, because I completely agree, Irving. As a business owner, I don't, I only have so much time in my day. My dad always told me growing up, we all have the same 24 hours in our day. But it seems like some people just have more time. I have twins. Anyways, so I'll be brief though. To Irving's point, I think you have to know your audience. I think you have to understand who am I wanting to market to, because every single social media platform is a little different in how you're going to reach whom you're going to reach and how you're going to reach them. And there's almost a format to each one. Facebook is almost the Wild West when it comes to format. There's a lot of different formats you can do. Instagram is very, like you said, visual or video. TikTok definitely, just video. And then for behind each of these social media platforms is a majority base, right? Like TikTok is very good with the youth, young guys coming up. And so you really just have to know and understand each platform's audience, and then decide which one's right for you and who your customer is, right? Who your target customer is.
Absolutely. And going
Oh.
across multiple platforms like that, like you're talking about, there's also posting tools that will let you post once and it goes to multiple platforms to make it a little bit easier on you. So if you want to find out more about that, we can talk about that. There's so many options, and the new options out there, like you said, some of the new things, Clubhouse. If anybody's heard of Clubhouse, that's a new one that's going on, and there seems to be a lot going on with that one. That's one of my new ones I've been playing with. Parlor just disappeared, right? So they come, they go, so when we talk about Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, these are ones that have been solid and been around for a while. So that's why we're focusing on those. But I think the other ones do have some potential depending on what you want to do with it. So if anybody's wanting to check out Clubhouse, let me know. I can get you in there. Jeff.
Yes, just to follow up with Jonathan, with John and Irvin, you absolutely right. And this is to go where the audience go. People say, what platform do I need to get on? I asked that same question too, and I've had some conversation with Irvin before, and even with Christine and Christy about that as well, because we have a different generation. At least majority of us on this call, I'm a different generation. I'm in the 60 category. So there's a little reluctancy and a little anxiety to going into those platforms, especially making video. And so where the audience go, and then of course I made my first video yesterday with TikTok. I mean, not my first one, but several ones before. And I'm being consistently, keyword consistently is the key importance of that. And then of course I'm finding out there are people in my age category that are looking for some help on TikTok. I'm sending a message, regardless. I'm sending a message about what I do, is that about personal growth, health and wellness, fitness, eating right, sleeping right, all those different things, even on TikTok. And with TikTok, I got it connected to my Instagram, so immediately it goes to Instagram. So that's another platform. And all I did was sit there, guys. I'm here to tell you, I'm not Jonathan. Jonathan is a technology guru. He is the man, and I have to sit there, and boy, it takes time. but I do know that's the back end. I'm looking for the reward on the front end eventually by being consistent and taking the time and learning those platforms. And I did that over the last couple of days. It's just based on time to do it. And then also last night, I requested through LinkedIn to do live video on LinkedIn. You have to apply for the application on that. And I got my feedback from them. They said it takes about, I'll hear from them in a couple of weeks on where I can do live videos. And then I'm also going to I use StreamYard. StreamYard is what I connect with to do Facebook and YouTube live every Saturday at 7:10. Literally, I go into StreamYard, schedule my time, and it automatically advertised on YouTube and advertised on Facebook that I'm coming on live to let my audience know I'll be on live at 7 o'clock on Saturday. I do it about 2 days prior, so you don't want to do it too far ahead because they lose track of it. And so sometimes the day before might work too as well, but I do it on Thursday. And then when I open it up, I go live, and my next connection right now, I'm going YouTube live and Facebook live on two Facebook pages, my business page, my personal page, and my YouTube channel. And then in a couple of weeks, it'll be connected to LinkedIn. So it'll be going live on LinkedIn as well, because my audience are in those areas of what I do. I'm about life. I'm about growing. I'm about looking good when I turn 72, like Bernie Francis, because Bernie looks great. He's awesome. He's very spirited. And he's the same age as my second brother. And you guys have done a phenomenal Vietnam vet, and you've taken care of yourself. And I want to be able to add value to folks that are younger than me, as well as that have a little bit more seasoned to me, because we all need to have a healthy lifestyle. And that is growing the mind and growing the body as well. So Irvin, Jonathan, and Christy, thank you guys. For Christine, thank you guys for doing that deep dive. I'll be there on Wednesday because I want to still grow in that. And I had to get out of my comfort zone. Doing a video, come on, we don't like doing that video. Okay,
Really?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Are you sure about this? And then guess what, Irvin, I like what you said. Don't try to be perfect. Just do it. Don't, because we old guys, we got a checklist we got to go by. We got to get this right, got to get this right, got to get this right. Most people want it raw. When they see it raw, they feel connected with you when they see it raw, just like you are. I did a video yesterday with my shirt off. For those who Jonathan already saw it, I was on my elliptical, and I did a 60-second video on exercise and wellness and about growth mindset. And I'm in my house, so I'm in my exercise room. I don't wear my shirt at home. Now, my gym, I'll put my shirt on, but at home, and because of the heat, I wear my. So am I gonna do this? I did it. I'll go, okay, okay. Don't tell nobody, guys.
Right, there's so many different options available. You mentioned YouTube. YouTube's another great way to get the word out. And if you don't have a podcast, you can actually do a YouTube. You can suck the words out of YouTube, throw that up on your podcast. And so now you've got a podcast using the same exact thing you did in YouTube. So there's a whole lot of different options we have on this. So we can't obviously get into all of it during the deep dive, but we're going to hit what we can and go from there. But we're glad to be able to help you with that. So let people know. We sent an email out last night about the deep dive. So there's a link in there to register. If you didn't get that email for some reason, reach out to me if you need to be added to our newsletter distribution list, and we will make sure that you get that. So invite your friends, those that are members. It is a perk of membership to be able to attend the deep dives for free. If you're not a member, it's only $20. And we want to encourage people that are patriots, non-patriots, the community, everybody's welcome to join us for the deep dives because we really want to help. That's what our goal is.
Example of value, after we did the keyword search deep dive, Patrick jumped off and created his first, AdWords account on Google. And so the value of it is literally, once you attend, you should have enough instruction and information to be dangerous and to launch, your first adventure into some of these platforms if you're already not on them. Just creating an account is the first step. So
absolutely.
Hey,
Patrick, I saw your hand. And then,
Patrick,
sorry, Dan.
Oh, I was about to say that Google AdWords. Yeah, I spent a couple bucks with them. Then I didn't spend anything for a couple of weeks. They sent me $300 if I start spending money again.
woo, nice. There you go. Nothing better than free money.
Yeah.
But yeah, $300 goes a long way on Google search. I mean, you can probably run, a good couple of months on that. It depends on how you set your budget and pace your budget. But it's a great tool anyway. So yeah, so I will be confident in saying that after Wednesday, if you attend, you'll have enough information to, launch a platform and to start dabbling.
And Scott,
And,
you wanted to
like
say
Jeff-
something?
I did, but I don't want to steal John or Irvin's thunder for the Wednesday. I just got excited and kind of wanted to share a way that I've used it where I didn't spend money and it's immediate returns on it. But I don't want to get into something that they may talk about. So you guys let me know.
Oh no, go ahead. I mean, go ahead. I mean,
Yeah.
we have, couple of minutes.
Okay.
So feel free to share.
It's-
Could I,
Yeah, it's real quick.
could I
It's real-
say something here? Could you put the information on the deep dive in the chat in terms of Wednesday time and how to access it?
Jonathan, can you put in the link for registration for us?
I sure will. Let me grab that link. Okay.
And that's
Could
going to
you
be
put that in
noon
the
to
chat?
1:30 on Wednesday.
Jonathan will do that.
1:30, right? And could put the link in the chat, please?
Absolutely. We will do that for you.
Okay, and Scott, what were you going to share with us real quick? And before, remind everybody, stick around at 8:30. David Roberts is going to do talk about one of our membership perks, BeeKonnected. So hang out if you can. Okay, so go ahead, Scott.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to steal anyone's thunder, but I've gone through a lot of this over the last few months, kind of spending money and not knowing where to put it and how just thinking I could put money out there and get ads. Had a really good conversation with the top producer in my office, and what he does is so simple, and it's something we all know to do, but we don't do it. We'd rather literally spend money on an ad, or pushing or boosting an ad than doing this. And it's this simple. After you're done with a client, you have to say, and it could be during your policy review or at the end of the close, but you got to say something to the effect of, if you liked what you saw today, if you liked me, will you please go on your Facebook page and just put a 1 or 2 liner about it and make sure you post me or tag me, excuse me, make sure you tag me to it. That's it. That's all you got to say. But it's the most powerful thing you can do, in my opinion, on social media, because what's going to happen is he's going to go on there and he's going to put, Scott was so awesome and helped me out today. Even though we didn't close on an idea, he's the man to go to, and he has to tag you on it. That's it. You don't have to do any work. You don't have to maintain it. You don't have to put any money towards it. But what that does is it opens up the window to all of his friends that reads his feed. These are people that you don't know, you're not friends with. It's outside of your complete bubble. And all it takes is someone says, oh, I like health insurance, but rates are too high. And then boom, I'm in there. I'm in the chat now, and I'm responding to him. I'm liking his comments, and I'm meeting a new potential client directly. And it just, it builds on top of each other. And I know that sounds incredibly simple, but when you get to the end of the close, asking someone to do that for you is so hard. But you got to do it. And if you do it, I promise you, I guarantee you returns on it. And it also helps if you wave money in someone's face and say, hey, if someone signs up, we'll give you $100. That always helps too. But, I was just jumping at the bit, Irvin. I didn't want to steal anyone's thunder.
No, that's great stuff,
That's
because
great
like,
advice.
one of the key things that I keep saying about these platforms, whichever one you choose to explore, or if not all of them, is it's free to create an account. I mean, you don't have to spend money. You have to invest time. Jeff knows that, but you have to invest time. And, part of it is building your audience. And then if you want to scale it up, that's where advertising comes in. But Christine, you're going to talk about tagging and all that stuff. So there's ways to do that. For example, like I said, I use LinkedIn as my business. One of the things that I'm going to go towards is similar to what Scott realized, is after I finish a consultation, I'm going to send them a thank you with a link to my LinkedIn review page, my recommendation page, and just say, if you appreciated what I did for you and in our discussion, just put a recommendation on here and just click here, real easy 1-step type of thing.
Absolutely.
So,
Requesting reviews and referrals, like Scott
yeah.
just said. Those two go a really long way. Well, so we're reaching 8:30. We want to be conscious of everybody's time. We want to make sure that we have enough time for David to talk about one of our perks of membership, a discounted membership with BeeKonnected. So those of you that need to sign up, we're going to officially call the meeting and end, and then switch to David Roberts with BeeKonnected. If you can hang out, I would highly recommend it, because BeeKonnected is supposed to be LinkedIn on steroids. So I'm looking forward to hearing about it. So if you need to
Me
leave, we
too.
understand. But if not, I'm going to turn the table over to David.
And
There's so
David,
many faces. I'm trying to, where are you?
David, before you
Go
before
ahead.
you hop in, David, I was just gonna say, and make sure it's okay with you. We still have this streaming on live on our Facebook page, but only because I think this content will be of value. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Make sure you're okay with it.
Hey, I'm never, there's no news that's bad news.
All right.
Publicity is publicity. So we'll do this, and yeah, I'm Facebook Live or whatever. I'm going to tell you the truth. So, that's all I can say. So we're going to go through this, and I'm going to just, be very straightforward with you, in terms of why I'm doing it and everything else. So whenever y'all, are you ready now?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna go ahead because I'm watching my granddaughter, and I didn't get to introduce myself. A lot of you know me already, but my son-in-law is headed for Qatar, and my daughter is here opening a Pure Bar franchise over in Arlington, which Irving knows all about because he's actually consulted with her a little bit. And so the whole conversation of social media, the deep dive you're going to do on Wednesday, or when I think it's Wednesday, right? Whenever you do it, all that there's a lot of synergy. So for those that are staying on here, I know Lloyd's heard the conversation a little bit about BeeKonnected, trying to figure out exactly how that fits in his brain, and I know he still hasn't figured that out yet. So maybe he'll figure it out today. So anyway, I'm going to share my screen. And by the way, Lloyd, I love you. You know that, right? I'm playing. I'm just saying that we're going to go through this, and I'm going to hopefully make this relevant. I will tell you that the PowerPoint that I'm going to bring up here real quickly goes through a lot of the preamble, but because some of you haven't heard the discussion before or don't know how to connect the dots, I'm going to go through it. There's way too many slides, and my goal is to do this in 30 minutes. So I'm going to blow through a lot of them fast. If there's something that you didn't understand, I posted in the chat that I'm available for one-to-ones, and that's simply to serve you. I'm only doing this to serve you, by the way. There's no financial benefit that I'm going to get other than to see BeeKonnected flourish, as well as see you guys flourish using the tool, both for the association and for yourself and your own business. So there's a lot of things that I heard in the discussion, and I was watching my 4-year-old granddaughter, so I was kind of pinging in and out. But anyway, so and Facebook Live, enjoy. Okay, so let me share my screen. I saw that I could. And I'm going to do that, and just give me a thumbs up if you've got me on your screen share. Does that look good? Somebody? Okay, perfect.
Got it.
Okay, so you know who you are. That's who we're having this conversation. And one of the things I'm going to go through this. A lot of the discussion I heard is how do you boost your business during the pandemic. We talked a lot about in the deep dive doing that. And there's really 3 keys to success in this economy. And by the way, a lot of us are learning these things and have learned these things. But really, when this shift is occurring, and it's occurred, guys. I mean, we're all dealing with it, right? We're doing this on Zoom. We're not doing it in person. So there's two ways to view it. Is one, we can lament or be, upset, or we can view it as an opportunity. And I believe the people that are still on this call and the people that are, part of this group and seeing this group grow tells me you guys are looking for the opportunity side. You're looking for, okay, how can I take advantage of this? And that's really why you have this BeeKonnected benefit now, and your leadership has taken this on, which I'm impressed with. And I think it will serve your growth once you figure out how to take what you're doing now. In the midst of every great crisis lies opportunity, Albert Einstein. So what's your plan? The question is, we're all doing things. I heard a lot of conversations from people in the prior to this saying, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And the good news is you're sharing it. You're serving the community with that. And that's a beautiful thing. So really the other thing is you got to remember, what is it that you want? Why are you doing and serving the business you are? What do you want? You want more travel, leisure, lifestyle? Really, if money weren't a factor, and I'm going to be very transparent with you here. I retired, and those of you who saw my spotlight in 2005, okay? You understand that retirement is doing what you want, when you want, with who you want, where you want. And all I want you to understand is you need to really think about, what does the journey look like? Not only how are you going to get there, but as you get there, what are you trying to get to? And so one of the things is, what if money wasn't a factor? What if your having level was just, how do I increase my having level? I don't do this to pay the rent. I don't do this to support my family. I don't do anything. How would, if you're not there, how would that feel to you? And the thing is, you'd still probably, I think most of you, I know Lloyd, I know some of the folks, some of you on here, I know Christy, and now I've gotten to know Irving a little bit. I know each of you would do what you're doing probably in some form, whether you had to pay the bills or not, right? I would think. I think I see the servant's part. So the question is, what does a successful business offer? And it really offers freedom. I mean, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, doesn't matter what, you're trying to get that freedom. You're trying to get control. But if you're always working in your business all the time, then it's just a job. It's just a job with a really lousy boss, because you're the boss, right? So the key is, let's talk about that. So really the problem is failure. 80% of new businesses and businesses that start are out of business in 18 months, and 96% really fail within the first 10 years. So if you've made it past 10 years, I'm still living my ideal life 15 years later, so something's working right. But the thing is, most of us have to abandon. And with the fact that we have this pandemic, it's even worse, right? We're in a pandemic, and really, if you're not careful, it's taking control of your business. And the thing is, you don't have a plan B. If your plan B was, okay, well, if this business doesn't work, I'll just go back into the workforce. As you probably heard, more unemployment claims have been filed, and we're not out of the woods yet. So again, I'm just, and I'm not trying to be a downer. I just want to say, this is what you and your members and the people you're trying to serve. And there's a lot of people. I work with business owners and entrepreneurs myself, and there's a lot of people that are either broke or broken. And so the question is, and then there are some businesses, I would say my business, the things that I'm doing, falls into this category. I'm having the best year ever. In fact, 2020, launched a podcast, had a lot of things. I've gotten now connected to a global community. Our Richardson Plato Networkers continues to grow at a nice pace, over five new members a week. So we're going. So, but why? What's the difference? And the reality of it is that you're having an opportunity to leverage technology. Everybody's here on this Zoom trying to leverage technology, right? And so, sorry, I don't know why that went back. So let's talk about that. And I'm going through fast. The world has really moved online, and we just need to figure out how to integrate what we already know with the online world. And that's why I said, if you're really trying to figure out how to put LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Parlor when they get back, find a hosting site, whatever, whatever you're working on. You need to know, kind of what, do you hate? I mean, one of the things is a lot of people that are old school, and I know there's a few of us here that are old school, is we really hate technology. It's like, okay, it's a distraction. I have to learn and I have to climb a new learning curve. I have to do some things. And a lot of people are feeling confused and overwhelmed. And which platform I heard that discussion before this talk about which one do I use? Where do I focus? Irving said something profound. You need to focus somewhere. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this benefit that you have and why you should consider using it. There's really 3 simple steps to business. There's connections. It's not misspelled. That's the way we spell it and BeeKonnected. Then there's tools and training. And you need all of those to get your business and keep your business on track. But you need those. So what does that look like? If you have that, it changes everything. And really, it starts with connections. So being connected really is a business. Knowing, having not just customers, but being connected. You guys, I see the synergy. I see the value in this community with people helping each other and, not only connecting to you, but connecting to people you're connected to. And you may not see it, but that's really the root of a lot of this is being connected. If you don't believe in that, then I don't know why you're doing networking, and I don't know why you're trying to figure out the social sites. The biggest difference between a great success and continued struggle is moving forward. So there's really 3 types of connections. These are the 2-way connections. This is somebody you want to talk to and somebody wants to talk to you, and it's not spam. I mean, I get over probably 50 people direct communication to me on LinkedIn every day. I have 8,000 connections and I get everybody wanting to talk to me. It's great that it makes me feel good that people want to talk to me. The reality of it is trying to figure out who to talk to, or even if you're trying to do it proactively, that's a very difficult thing. The other thing is you want to kind of be able to step out from the crowd. That's why, you have ad spend. That's why you do Google, you do all this stuff trying to be found by the people that you really want to connect with, right? And then you also want to find people who have what you need and also can help. The other type of connections is growth connections. Really, your investment in this face-to-face or face-to-Zoom networking right now, you're really trying to invest in getting people to know you, because your investment is serving and knowing people and trying to serve. And then when people know you and know what you can do, that's where you get growth. So you also might want to find partners in other areas, people who target your same market, find affiliates really. If you have a business or you're moving online to help promote your stuff, promote your business, find event coordinators that need speakers, or find, podcasters. That's what I do. I'm actually always looking for somebody to be a guest on my Warrior versus Zombie podcast, and I've had a number of them now through BeeKonnected. Have strategic connections, people that again, we have complimentary offers. You get guys like John and some of these folks that really know the tech, can help you out. People that can take over the things that aren't your business. I mean, if you're working on stuff that you're saying, okay, I need to learn how to do LinkedIn, or I need to learn how to do XYZ, and I'm going to do it myself. Yeah, that might be the starting place, but you ideally want to be in the business that you're focused on, and then build a community or a team around you. BeeKonnected helps you do that. You want to get access to sales and marketing and really the right kind of clients. So those are your strengths. And you want to get rid of bad clients. I mean, some people, you keep dealing with the same person who's wasting your time. And you really, if you could upgrade your community, wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Put an end to your learning curve. Nothing will really advance you faster and so on than doing that. So, but you got to know who to trust. I mean, I'm going to share with you a little bit of what you have on BeeKonnected with the full membership thing. Reality of it is, I've spent thousands of dollars, and if you go out and one-off a lot of this stuff, number one, you'll spend the same thousands of dollars, and you're going to be continuing to look for people to support you. Now, if you're in the business to support people, then this is also a community that is there. So you go from seminar, or, I do Friday trainings on Richardson Plano Networkers every Friday. Give it for free. These people will make an offer at the end. The reality of it is that's going to cost you a lot more money, and you're gonna do that if you do it. Now, some of them are great. They're all great, and they have value. But how do you kind of, we're all on a limited budget. The ATM. We're all trying to, fund a lot of things. And what most people are really looking for is really what we call the easy button, right? There really is no easy button, but because it does take work, but there are easier ways of doing things. You really just need leads, prospects, customers. I'm not going to go through all, but those if you've had marketing stuff, you understand that you want to advance people from, being a stranger to somebody that's actually advocating your business. That's a lot of what you're trying to do. So the four-step process for marketing, I'm not going to get through this, but this is, by the way, in the training and the back office, all this stuff and a lot more in your BeeKonnected membership if you jump into the paid membership. So you really want to create desire and demand and get the marketing makes sales obsolete. You really want, how many salespeople how many salespeople do work at McDonald's, right? I mean, you just go in there to take an order. Wouldn't it be nice, whatever you're doing, is the people are coming and looking for you, and not, you're not trying to convince them. So the real question is, do you really want to prospect or mine LinkedIn on your own and do this? Or do you really want to take orders? And that sounds kind of pie in the sky, but the reality of it is that's what we're all should be moving towards, so that you can work on your business and not just be day-to-day working in your business. So the key is, we have business tools. You have business tools if you, again, take advantage of what you have in this thing to automate your sales process, duplicate your efforts. In other words, teach other people to do what you do, and so on. And then really get your message out to the people that intentionally are seeking and wanting that message, just like you see within your efforts with the Chamber of Commerce here. You're really trying to do the same kinds of things. So you have business tools for lead generation, new client acquisition, all these things. I'm going to keep moving so that so what is the right training will do for you? Provide connections, tools, and training. And if you get those right, you have a recipe for success. And really it says, imagine, and this is true, by the way, if you really engage with BeeKonnected. By the way, if you don't engage with BeeKonnected, it has no value. If you don't engage with LinkedIn, it has no value. If you don't engage with the DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce, it has no value. So the key is, what if you have that recipe book to walk you through it? Well, that's what BeeKonnected really is. And the question really is, are you just striving to make it through this, or are you trying to thrive? And the reality of it is, the connections, tools, and training that we just talked about is available to you in BeeKonnected, and it's there, and it is an incredibly good value for you if you really look at it. So the first one is high caliber connections. The community as it exists right now is a very early adopter opportunity in terms of, there's probably 10 to 15,000 members, going to 1 million before the next in a few months. There's the people that are on the platform are very, people that are engaged. They're like the people that you run into in this group, trying to help each other. So it basically gives your business spam-free platform. Okay, so you're basically, and I'll explain what that is. You can be seen and heard and gain media access. There's people in this platform that have huge audiences that you can get exposure to, whether it's on their podcast, their television show. There's a lot of things there to build deeper relationships, which is what you're trying to do with this group, and then really increase your reach. Okay, so the connection generator is the way to do that. That was what Christy had mentioned. It's kind of like a dating app for business. It does use, it's a proprietary software that has an artificial intelligence basically, if you really want to get into that, you need to get on board and try it. We're going to talk about the best value, but then you can also get involved and get some exposure to the connection generator without spending a dime. You just need to get in and actually engage with it, set it up. So basically what happens for those of you on BeeKonnected, and if you go to the back office, once you've set it up, and then you have this connection generator, you have people who are requesting one-on-ones, in the world of Richardson Plano networkers and in the DFW Veterans Chamber, you have the meeting, but the meeting is not the end. The meeting is just the beginning, right? So then you ask for a connection request, or you ask for a one-to-one. You can do that via Zoom, you can do it in person, you can do it on WhatsApp, whatever. You can do it whatever you're comfortable with, on the phone, face to face. And then you put in your billboard. The thing is, you create your profile. If I tell you anything about BeeKonnected, don't click on the button, don't sign up for any membership until you intend to create basically your 30-second message. Who am I? What do I do? You can post a whole portfolio. You can post videos, you can post blogs, you can post a lot of different things in your profile, the public profile. And then within the connection generator, you can actually put in the things that you are interested in, right? Once you've done that, and it's kind of like dating software, the kind of people you like to talk to, have one-on-ones with. It's like if you show up to this meeting and you look at the whole grid and you say, wow, which ones of those should I set one-to-ones with? The artificial intelligence in BeeKonnected, and obviously facilitated by your non-public profile, will offer up every time you log in 6 of the best connections. And you say, well, how does that work? I'm not exactly sure, but I can't tell you how many cool connections and people I've already met with. And I didn't have to wade through even the whole grid of everybody on the network group. I was able to just, it pops up and says, try one of these people. And you look, you ask for the 6 new connections, and you can go in and do specific searches on specific types of people, or you can use the artificial intelligence, and it really gives kind of an intuitive matchmaking. You review their profile, so you can see their public profile to say, hey, yeah, I do really want to do this, and then go on. And then, like I said, once you review the profile, then it goes through, and this is kind of just walking through it. You can message them and say, hey, I'd like to get together, have a one-to-one on Zoom. You tell them how you'd like to connect. And then the cool thing is you can message it within the platform. You have a messaging capability. And when you're done with that interaction, and this is probably one of the most important things, just like if you were taking an Uber or Lyft ride and it really sucked, if somebody is a bad performer or a good performer, the algorithm allows you to reward, or I don't like to use the word punish, but you can actually tell the group that this is a good person to connect to or not. So it encourages everybody not to spam, not to be trolls, not to be misbehaving, and actually build your platform, right? It's expanding globally. So again, you can take your efforts here. If you have interest in connecting to people or wanting people across the globe, you can do that. And then the key is the Be Pro membership. And you have, as a group, a free membership to the connection generator, but the Be Pro membership is really where the best value is. First of all, you can get this, we can't say Zoom, but you can get this premier platform at an enterprise level. If you understand what that means, you can have 500 people on a Zoom. You can connect directly to Facebook Live for up to 10,000 attendees. You can live stream. You can do all these things, and it's only $12.99 a month, which is cheaper than the cheapest paid membership on that other platform, which you have access to. The other thing is right now at current count, there's about 30 $100,000 worth of training in the back office. So if you want to take this platform, move your business online or increase your online business, or somebody mentioned earlier, getting their head around Facebook. There's a whole Facebook mastery course. There's creating your online e-commerce store, on and on. There's creating the video platform, creating a video presence is there. If this threatens you because you're a coach in these areas, all I would say is get and have these tools in your toolkit. And if you want to learn some of these things, these courses are there. They're all part of the Be Pro membership that you have access to. Now, the standard price for Be Pro is $299 because of your membership in your leadership has signed up to be in the BeeKonnected Association. You get that for $224. Okay, that's the best deal. And then $49 a month, which is $229 a day, to have access to all that training, to the connection generator, to access a community. However, if you refer 2 people, and you can refer those, by the way, you can invite people within the group to be your referral, because this isn't like a network marketing or whatever. It's really, there's a referral value. If you refer 2 people, then you don't pay the $49 a month ever. Okay, so once you refer 2 people that are paid members, by the way, not because you can sign up and create a profile for free just like you would on LinkedIn or whatever the thing is. So really, this is what your leadership has made available to you. There's about a $31,000 value, and you're getting that for $224 a month, or $224 one time, and then potentially free for life. And by the way, I can talk to anybody one-on-one on how to make that happen and we're not going to do it here. And then they actually until the end of this month, and I don't know if they'll extend it, there's a $2,500, and believe it or not, people will travel. I'm planning on a cruise in the end of June, and so I'm hoping that things open back up. But there is a $2,500 travel savings passport that's available for you, basically signing up at either it's 99, but it's 74 or the 224 level. So again, the lifetime member, that's the 2 referrals, is free, or if you don't want to mess with referring people or worry about that, it's $49 a month. By the way, the premium, somebody mentioned on the last call, the premium LinkedIn membership is free for veterans. Great, beautiful, for a year. Okay, the reality of it is when you move to like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's like $100, $90 some a month. So this is half of that, even if you just said, okay, I don't want to worry about the referrals. So again, a great deal. The real question is, do you want to survive or thrive? And then, so the objective here is and the chamber, by the way, and again, gets roughly 10 to 20%. Once they have 100 members on board, 20%, up to 100 members, they get 10% for every dollar that anybody puts into this. So it can become a funding source. Now I'm going to get rid of my share, and I know I talked through that very fast, but I said we do it 8:30 to 9, and again, I'm doing this because I believe in the platform. I've already adopted it. I'm working with other nonprofits. I'm working with a synagogue. I'm working with my church. I'm working with so there's this same kind of program that's available to you guys as a nonprofit and as an association is also available to other organizations, which I know some of you have desires to see them succeed as well. And most everybody that's funding any kind of charity is doing it through the success in their business, right? So, or their job. And this is a tool that you can use to help those people help their ministry or their association directly, as well as through their increased success in their business. Any questions?
So, David, I just wanted to add to that, and Christine, let me know if you have anything like detail-wise to add to it. But thank you so much for that presentation. That was awesome, and I'm definitely looking at using it. Getting involved with it for more of my software engineering side of kind of freelancing and stuff. So that's exciting. I did have a call out that we have a link that Christy has for the chamber, and what we want to do is distribute that and have you sign up through it. And that way you get the benefits of being a member, but we also, like David had said, we also get a benefit of growing a community on there and potentially using it as an income generator in the future for the chamber, and being able to do bigger and better events, and being able to utilize that money to help our members. So
Yeah, imagine the possibilities. By the way, and this is something that we can do a deeper dive. One of the things I would recommend, guys, is once you start getting some of the community up and running, and maybe even short, is kind of walk through it with people. It's really important for people to start using the tool and seeing the value. So it's not just doing it so that the association benefits, but they can see the benefit and their value. But absolutely use the referral link from that to get your own discount, your 25% discount, and to give the benefit to the Veterans Chamber, which will give you more money as a chamber to do more things, not only for yourselves, but impact the community of veterans and patriots that you're hoping to promote. So that's what this is all about. That's why I love this. That's why I'm doing this, because I feel it's a high impact activity, and I feel right now more than any time in my life, people are looking for, how do I connect these dots? How do I make this work? How do I take my in-person networking or my Zoom networking and integrate that with what I'm trying to do on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever? And there are tools that are growing, and there's a community here that can serve you. The coolest thing is people that have created these trainings are in that network. So in other words, if you're taking the training and the coach who's doing the training, there's a question you have, you'll be able to just reach out to them through the connection generator and say, hey, I'm in the community, right? I'm part of. It's just like when you reach out to somebody in the Veterans Chamber and say, hey, Lloyd, I need some help. Lloyd's going to help you, right? Lloyd, I know Lloyd. Lloyd's going to serve you, because that's what you guys do. That's the way this community is being grown online, which is completely different than the
David,
other communities that you see, unless you really get it tight on the other platforms.
hey, David, I was going to tell you what would be kind of cool suggestion for BeeKonnected. I don't know if they do this or if they would even consider it, but for like really big organizations or even like our organization as it's going to grow, it'd be really cool to have like a white labeled for our community only version of this. If, let's say we got to 500 or 5,000 members, and it would just be like a white labeled inner circle BeeKonnected for all the members, because as you grow to a certain point, it's almost impossible to do one-on-ones with everybody. And so it'd be an interesting thought. Maybe we could work something up and pitch it to the leadership that be at BeeKonnected. Who knows?
Well, the good thing is there's a couple things. One is functionally, there's a lot of what you just said that is because you are an association within the BeeKonnected community. So when people sign up within the association, they can search on, and you can say, I want people that are, veterans, or,
Right.
you can do that. The other thing is, the other beautiful thing about this is if you understand early adoption stage of market, adoption or whatever, we're very much early stage. They're adding functionality, capability. For a tech guy like you, they're always looking for ideas and ways to improve it, and they're investing in it. And the beautiful thing is, it's not some investor that's going to co-opt the thing for political reasons, and I won't go there. But they are there to serve the community, and it's funded by the community. I mentioned this, I think last week in an offhanded conversation, but it's self-funded. It's funded by the people in the group over time. So it's a beautiful thing there.
Yeah, like we have a relationship with like the New York Chamber of Commerce. They're almost like a sister company of ours. Basically, we help each other out, share ideas, things like that. And they have like 10,000 members. So it'd be really I was just thinking out loud as you were talking about the platform, you know, because I'm a tech guy. I'm always thinking about ways to utilize technology, and I was like, how cool would that be if they could white label it, meaning they could have a mini BeeKonnected version for their chamber where their members could go on, sign up, and they would pay a licensing fee to use that white label product from BeeKonnected. So the organization as a whole would pay for it, and the members would join, you know, for free, or maybe they could even charge for it or whatever. But the thought is that they could have like their little inner circle company, BeeKonnected Light.
Yeah, and again, the thing is, there's some fundamentals here, but and we can get into that. But yeah, I've been involved since it was a concept. It launched in September. I got involved early. I'm what's called a qualified founding affiliate. I'm actually not the affiliate that referred you guys, but that doesn't matter to me. If you know me, I serve first. If money follows, that's a beautiful thing. If I get to serve, that's okay, because I'm really helping you. I want you guys to be successful. So in doing this, because I think it's amazing. I really do.
Cool, man. I look forward to signing up and checking it out some more, man. I think you did a great presentation.
Well, I didn't create it. I just
Well,
kind of blew through it, but I've done it enough. I've done it enough. So, and if again, I put it in the chat. I think you can find it in the chat, but there's a link to do a one-on-one with me. So if you do have any questions, and if I can serve anybody in any way, I always make that offer, because that's why I do what I do. This is part of my ideal day, is serving other people.
Thank you so much. And we do know how much you like to give, and we appreciate it, because now you've given again to us. And so you just keep coming back and sharing, and we'll keep listening, because you're a wonderful wealth of information. So we appreciate all your time and efforts that you put towards us, David. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and send a link out. So everybody needs to keep their eyes open for an email from the chamber. We're going to send that out in the next couple of days to our special link for registering for BeeKonnected, and we'll start having some fun with that. It looks like it's going to really bring a lot of value to our members.
Yeah, and the only
Any
thing I
other?
would actually, one things, Christy, I would like is, as you guys are having the experience, and you don't have to, but it would serve me, is if you learn things or you figure things out that work for your chamber, and I don't happen to be around, if anybody wants to reach out to me and share it, because I'm trying to leverage that learning. That's what networking is about, right? I'm leveraging that learning for my other groups that I support, maybe some that I run, but also ones that I'm just trying to serve, because I'm willing to talk to any chamber, any
yeah.
religious organization, any nonprofit, to help them thrive through this thing. So just let me know.
And David, I was going to ask, would you share your Richardson Plano network, or your time and like info in the chat if you have it available? If not, you can email me.
Yeah, I can post it. I've got a link here.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to come and just say hi. I don't know if you accept guests or just first
Oh, of
timers.
course. Yeah, no, it's yes, we absolutely, every week I add 5.5 people per week to the group as meetup guests on Meetup, and it's on Meetup. So, and in fact, I don't know if anybody knows Lynn O'Neill. If you know that name, she's been around forever. She's doing a training today on Zoom at starts at noon, but the group is 11:30 to 1 every Friday, and we have training every Friday. So that's just another freebie. So let me pull up the website, and then I'll just post that in the link. And it's Meetup. All you have to do is sign up on Meetup. There's we charge it's really more of a donation these days, but it's $2 a week, but that shouldn't be a criteria for you deciding. If the $2 is a problem, it's never a problem for us. So let me send you. I'm going to send
Well,
you.
we love networking, obviously. So thank you for sharing your group with us. And we, of course, send any veterans our way.
Yeah, we do. Well,
And vice versa.
Lloyd's part of the group, and there are other people that have popped on, and we're all collaborators. Nobody's competing.
Absolutely.
We all, and the thing is, everybody's trying to figure out how to. That's the thing I love about BeeKonnected, and what you have at your fingertips here is everybody in this group, everybody in Rich Plano Networkers, everybody in every group that I ping into and try to help. They're all looking to figure out how to expand their network, to get outside the box. And so this is just another way to do that and maybe leverage your efforts, because it gets very time consuming. Just even sitting on Zooms all day long we can all get Zoom fatigue, right?
Yes, we can. So thank you so much. We've gone past our 9 o'clock promise,
Right.
and I know we have to be careful with everybody's time, but we really do value your input. Thank you so much for helping us out, and another fantastic event here with the Friday morning reveille with the chamber. So thank you.
Love you guys. You have a good group. I will ping in just because I like you guys. So
Awesome.
whatever I
Always
can do to
welcome.
serve.